All right. What did the janitor say when he jumped out of the closet? Think about a janitor closet. Are you ready? Supplies! Like surprise? Like if you were trying to scare somebody, you'd say surprise. But the janitor's closet, so there's a bunch of supplies. Supplies! Alright. That was really good. I liked that one. This is your frame. We're going to go to that key topic, our key idea, and the is about statement. So your key idea today is algebraic properties. Algebraic properties. And those algebraic properties are about or is about properties that make expressions easier to evaluate. Alright, it's about properties that make expressions easier to evaluate. Alright, so we have that commutative property. Commutative property, what it means that we can add or multiply in any order. Alright, there's two of these properties. One is the commutative property of addition, and the other one is the commutative property of multiplication. Okay, so of addition in variables or in algebra, it's a plus b equals b plus a. So if we add any two things together, we can switch them around. Alright, one example of this is 5 plus 17 plus 5. Okay, instead of here we have to add left to right, where we have to do 5 plus 17 and then plus 5. It's going to be easier to switch the 5 and 17 around the last two. So we want to change this to 5 plus 5 plus 17. That way when we now add left to right. We get 5 plus 5 is 10 plus 17. Well, and 10 plus 17 is, 27. Alright. There's also the commutative property of multiplication. That also says a times b equals b times a. Alright. Again here we have negative 2 times 34 times 5. Instead of wanting to multiply negative 2 times 34, then whatever that is, times 5, it would be a lot easier if we could do negative 2 times 5, switch those 5 and 34 around. That's the commutative property. We're switching the order. Because now negative 2 times 5 is negative 10 times 34. And negative times a positive is a negative. And 10 times 34, well, you always just take 34, add on that 0. Alright, so that's the commutative property of multiplication. Going on to the associative property. Associative property means we can regroup numbers when we multiply and add, or when we add and multiply. Okay, so we have two again. We have the associative property of addition and the associative property of multiplication. Of addition, this is how it looks like in algebra. A plus the quantity of b plus c is equal to the quantity of a plus b plus c. So we're switching what we're grouping them with, okay? So, for example, if we had 4 plus, in parentheses, the quantity of 6 plus 18, what this is telling us to do is first we have to do 6 plus 18 and then add 4. But we can switch that, so we add 4 plus 6 and then we're going to add 18. Alright, so the reason why we'd want to do that is because 4 plus 6 is 10 and 10 plus 18 is equal to 28. So that's a lot easier. Of multiplication, it looks similar. It has A times the quantity of B times C equals the quantity of A times B times C. Alright, so that's an algebra. This would maybe look like 0 times 46 times 31. What this is telling us to do in this expression is that we have to do 46 times 31 first. But we don't have to do that. We can switch it. We can regroup it. We can group the 0 with the 46. So we can do 0 times 46, then times 31. That way, when we do 0 times 46, we get 0 times 31. And 0 times anything is 0. So we end up with 0. Alright, moving on. We have the identity property. Whoops. Okay, the identity property. What it means. There's two things it means. It means when we multiply by, or when we add 0, we get the same number. It also means when we multiply by 1, we get the same number. Alright, so the identity property of addition is if we do A plus 0, we get A. Really easy example. Negative 36 plus 0. If we add 0 to negative 36, we get negative 36. Wonderful. Of multiplication, if we do A times 1, we get A. An easy example. 36 times 1 is equal to 36. Done. Alright, our next one is inverse property. And what it means is when we combine a number with its inverse, we get the identity. It sounds a little confusing, but it's really pretty simple. Okay, so the inverse property of addition, well, we're going to take a number like m, and when we combine it with something, we're going to get 0, but we're adding. So m plus what is 0? Well, the opposite of m. Alright, this mainly works if we need to get 0 on a side. 42, how can we get 0? Well, we can add negative 42. Alright, with multiplication, it's a little bit trickier to go from n to 1, because the identity of multiplication is 1. We actually have to multiply by the reciprocal, or 1 over n. Okay? So for example, if I want to go from 4 to 1, what can I multiply it by? Well, 4 times 1/4. A fourth of 4 is 1. If I take the number 4 and split it into fourths, every piece gets 1. Alright, your so what for this frame is know the differences between the properties and know the names. It's good if you can use these, but it's going to be better if you can use their names while you use them. Alright, ciao. Take the quiz. Okay, bye.